Wagwan, everyone. I hope you're doing well and welcome back to another video, part two of our discussion. Sorry, I've absolutely butchered that intro, but here we are, people. Hope you're keeping good. Welcome to part two of our discussion of each Premier League club going into the season 2022-2023. And discussing what they need to do in the transfer window, signing, selling. If you haven't seen part one, where we go from Arsenal down to Fulham in alphabetical order, then go check it out. We spent a large portion of that talking about Arsenal, the club that I do support. Yes, you see me wearing blue, but I am an Arsenal fan. I just like to change up the colours that I wear. I've got the orange lighting in my room, orange background, theme of the channel. If you're new, welcome. Thank you for joining, and we're going to have a great time discussing. And let me know your thoughts if you're watching this afterwards in the comment section below about your relative team, or if you just want to discuss about a certain team or a certain club, what they need to do in the summer that you find interesting. And yeah, a team that you're going to be tracking because of the early talk that we've seen before the window has begun. But we're going to be discussing each and every club. We're going to discuss the final teams now, starting from Leeds all the way down to Wolverhampton Wanderers. So before I do that, let me big up everyone in the chat. Ed is in here saying 2 days in a row. He's loving it and he's looking forward to talking about Wolves. And he was first in the comments. You deserve that trophy. And we'll speak about you, Ed, right at the end for sure. But I hope you're keeping good. Ed has some inside information. That is not fair. Big up yourself, Bobby. Hope you're well too. But Peeny's in the place as well. Big up yourself, Peeny. Hope you're keeping good. Tishi's in here, but she can't join tonight because she will have to watch with Jacob tomorrow, because Jacob is keen, my nephew, to watch this. And big up yourself, Luca. Thank you for tuning in, man. I really do appreciate that. And yes, I am good. Hope you are well as well. And yes, we definitely do need to collab sometime. You was on the last Arsenal discussion where we reviewed the season. And what I want to do is discuss the summer ahead at some point. Maybe during the weekend, in fact. And yeah, Luca, I'll hit you up afterwards. But I hope you're all keeping well, people. And let us begin talking about Leeds United. But before we do, make sure you do smash that like button if you haven't done so already, as we discuss Leeds United's transfer window. And it's going to be a very interesting one for Leeds, because they did survive just by the skin of their teeth, which you guys do know on the last day. And yeah, if we're going to be thinking about Jesse Marsh's side moving forward, they've already bought in 2 players, Brendan Aronson from Salzburg, and another Salzburg player in Rasmus Christensen, who was officially confirmed to have joined Leeds today. So that's a central midfielder, central attacking midfielder, more of an 8/10, who can also play out wide in Aronson, and then a fullback and a right back position with Christensen, which for me, I think both of those signings upgrade for what Leeds have in the midfield and in defence. When we're looking at Aronson and Christensen, they are internationals for their sides. Aronson is a USA international, United States men's national team. And then we also have Rasmus Christensen, who is a Danish international. And we saw how Denmark did perform at the Euros last year now. I can't believe that's gone a year. And wow, it's nearly a year ago, wasn't it, when the Euros kicked off? Wow, the channel wasn't even born then. Well, the channel was born, but not regularly uploading or anything like that. Great times. But yeah, they have signed 2 players already, and for Leeds, they'll be looking to sign a forward and a central midfielder, as they have been linked with Lewis O'Brien, the Huddersfield player who impressed last season across in the Championship. And we spoke about him yesterday too, with other clubs being linked to him, like Crystal Palace, which Jay brought up in the comments. And Lewis O'Brien, he does seem like a player destined for the Premier League. Has got an all-round game about him. He's quite diminutive at 5'8", has a lot of energy. Ball progression is excellent, can press as well. Quite a press-resistant player too, so shows good technical ability over in the Championship, and adept at using both feet, although he is left-footed. And you know what, will bring a lot of mobility around in that pitch, energy. Someone, if I was to liken him to a player that we see in the Premier League quite often, I'd say he's more of a John McGinn type, who can be an all-action, box-to-box midfielder. So good player in O'Brien. They've also been linked with Eddie Nketiah, which I found out today, and that seems to have been cooled down a little bit as Eddie Nketiah is rumoured. Well, we don't quite know from Eddie Nketiah's side, but Arsenal did offer him and have offered him a final contract offer of 5 years with 100k a week, which has brought a lot of discussion, which I'm sure we will do when we go heavy on Arsenal, thinking about next season when we do just a sole dedicated one. But right now, we're talking about all the other clubs because this is Tereak Talks, where we discuss the other clubs, and they have also been linked with another central midfielder in James Garner as well. Manchester United's James Garner, who, you know what? Could there a deal be struck if Calvin Phillips does decide to leave? As he has been linked with Manchester United, but of late been linked with Manchester City. So that would be a huge miss in their midfield. And if they did lose him, they would most certainly have to replace him, as well as get another central midfielder in that position, given we know with Stuart Dallas's injury, who's the versatile skipper. Is he the skipper, actually? No, I think it's Luke Ayling, but he's one of the captains of the club in terms of the leadership group. Very versatile, covers in at both fullback positions and in midfield. So they're going to be missing him for the majority of the season. And they're going to need to improve in that central midfield area, as well as the forward line, which has been highly touted for Leeds United. And it'd be interesting to hear your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And Social, no, I'm not supporting Chelsea. I love the skin, love the teeth. Perfect. Social, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Big up yourself as well, Jay. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on Leeds United and their transfer window in the comments below. But just before we move on from them, we haven't discussed, of course, Rafinha, who was very much linked to leave towards the end of the season. But now the season has come to a close and we know that Leeds will be remaining in the Premier League. And I think I'm not too sure on the figures, the ballparks, because this is all reported as well. So we're not going to really know the true figures in and around it. But he has been linked with a move away to Barcelona. But we know with Barcelona's financial struggles, which we'll get into when we talk about other clubs that are related, they're looking to offload players too. They are struggling to drum up the cash to even sign players that they have initial contracts to. So I can't see them drumming up the amount that is needed to prize Rafinha away from Leeds United, which will be 50 million plus, I can imagine, given the fact they're in the Premier League and they didn't get relegated. So there's no relegation clause that will be activated if they even did have one. So yeah, busy. Is it going to be a busy transfer market for Leeds? Probably not now, given they've signed 2 players already. And for me, necessity is to sign 2 more so they can kind of draw it out a little bit longer and wait for a good deal to pop up, as the transfer window hasn't even opened yet. And we've seen a lot of activity and discussions and rumours already, and fans of certain clubs starting to panic, which we shouldn't do so early, because situations will change. It is a long summer. It's not like the January transfer window where you have 1 month to try and sign these players. Things will occur. Clubs and players or have itchy feet and they want to leave, so they want to seek pastures new. It's a World Cup year as well, so players who weren't getting a lot of game time last season or at points last season will be thinking, maybe if I go somewhere else, even risk taking a step down just so that I can guarantee my spot for my nation to play in the World Cup, and then they could potentially kick on from there. So we could certainly see a lot of loans, and Leeds may even tap into that market right there. But as we move on into the next side that we're going to speak about is Leicester City. And this is going to be an interesting summer for Leicester City because, yes, they underwhelmed. If we're going to think about the capabilities of Leicester last season, they did underwhelm, but they actually ended the season quite well, finishing in a top 10 place and making a Europa Conference League, but a European semi-final, which for a club like Leicester isn't bad at all. So you'd think because they underwhelmed, they would be heavy in the transfer market, and they need to try and rejuvenate this squad and try and get fresh blood in as they go through a transition. But what we did notice with Leicester is injuries heavily impacted their season, especially at the back and in midfield. So if they're going to be hoping for to get these players back fit and hopefully have them for a majority of the season, they might decide to have a quietish summer, and that's what I believe will end up happening. Yes, we're going to be talking about the key out and the outing and the player that looks like he will be leaving in Youri Tielemans for them. James Maddison looks like he could be staying put as there isn't much interest around him at the moment, which he had a good season, which was what 10 goals, 10 assists, 20 goal contributions. Not bad at all for a struggling Leicester side. But Youri Tielemans looks to be the one leaving. Of course, we spoke about him because he's heavily linked with Arsenal, but he's also linked with other clubs within the Premier League as well. And we'll get to those later. But for Leicester, in their point of view, they're certainly going to need to replace Youri Tielemans. He's box-to-box, goal scoring, prowess from midfield, creativity, there is ball progression on the ball, and then just a support midfielder for a Wilfred Ndidi. So with Boubacar Samare, didn't have a great season last. Maybe this season he can kick on and he could potentially be that replacement for Youri Tielemans and partnering a Wilfred Ndidi who hopefully has better season in terms of fitness and staying fit. And I think he missed the majority. He was out at loads of points, and that's a real concern for Wilfred Ndidi, who has been highly touted by a lot of clubs, and they have been interested in him in the past, but we haven't seen much this summer or yet because of those injuries concerns that he does have. So Tielemans, they're certainly going to need a replacement for him in midfield if he does decide to leave. And Leicester settle for the money, however much they accept, which would probably be within the 20 to 30 million pound region. I can imagine that a club would want to pay for a player in their last year of their contract, but they're certainly going to have to look at a forward. In Jamie Vardy, aging now, and they signed Patson Daka last summer, but I think with Jamie Vardy and Patson Daka, they offer a similar like source in terms of goals. And yes, it's quite, I've spoken about this with earlier on, when you don't really want to have too much of a contrasting style with your strikers, because it will make you like it won't lead to team continuity or cohesion, I don't believe. And look, Manchester City and Liverpool have done all right without even a recognised number 9, but when they do have players in depth in those areas, they are very similar in terms of their playing style and profile, and they haven't done too bad. But with Leicester, I think with Jamie Vardy, he was struggling with injuries at points, with that hip injury in particular. They want to be able to rest him now as he's in his mid to late 30s, as he enters those years. They're going to need to rotate him a lot more. And Patson Daka had flashes as moments of brilliance where, he came in as a highly rated striker. But I think if they had someone that gave them a different source, a different outlet in a way, and not completely different where I'm saying they need to get a massive target man who can't move. They have been linked with Joel Perreault, who is the Swansea striker, had a good season last season in the Championship and scored quite a few goals. I can't remember how much it was, in fact, but I know he had a decent season when I was keeping an eye on him. And they have been linked with a centre-back as well in St. Just, the Dutch player who is currently playing out in the Bundesliga. So they are looking at a forward and a centre-back potentially. But other than that, a Tielemans replacement, I can't really see Leicester signing more than 3 players in my eyes, and I can't really see them having any more players leaving apart from Tielemans as well. So quiet summer I expect for Leicester City. So yeah, any Leicester fans, let me know your thoughts in the chat. Big up everyone who has joined whilst I was talking about Leicester. Peony giving his thoughts on Leeds right there. Big up Tereak, your beard looking like Wolverine. Hey, Rich, bro, getting a trim tomorrow. Don't you worry about that. Trim has been booked. When you're getting busy and that. It was bank holiday weekend last, so I wasn't able to get it booked in time because I don't really like going to the barbers when it's mega busy. So yeah, don't worry, man. Wolverine's going to be gone. Well, I don't know. This isn't a stream to be talking about what I'm going to do with my beard. But you'll see in the content coming up. I will be doing a gaming stream on the weekend, at least 1, maybe 2. Well, it will be 2. Looking like a GTA character today. Big up Sato. I like that one. Yeah, you know what? If I could just like have a flick of a switch like that, and I would just put on a different do-rag, or probably give myself a trim first and foremost. Who's the gangster in blue? But nah, no throw coming out, man. I don't want the throw. We have to get rid of it. Sato saying, I think Maddison is done there. Someone should buy him. Maddison, he seems like he might have itchy feet. And I do think he would have been open to making that move to Arsenal in the summer, last summer, sorry. But there isn't really much interest in and around him. So I can't see any club paying the cash that's needed that Leicester would demand for James Maddison. Leicester, they are notoriously known for asking for very high prices for their players. I know Wesley Fofana has been linked with Man United and Chelsea, but I can't really see that happening either. For either clubs paying the 68 million that Leicester are going to demand, and with Maddison there was demanding 80 million, so they're not going to lower their asking price below 60 at the lowest. I don't even see that, probably 70 million. Maddison, I don't think he will be leaving anytime soon. Maybe things will change as we get deeper on into the summer, because this is football. This is football. This is why we love the game, because things change so quickly. Big up to yourself as well, Brush. Rich saying they need a striker. Vardy and Iheanacho coming to the end of their Leicester tenure. I agree. I forgot to mention Iheanacho as well. That could be a player who would be looking to leave Leicester to seek more game time, more playing time. Vardy, good point, because he needs to be rotated a lot more, as we saw with his injury issues last season. Still scored a quite decent amount of goals, so they're not going to be looking to sell him, I don't think, in this summer, but maybe in the next, if his injury woes don't ease, and I can't see that happening as he ages. So yeah, definitely need a striker. But yeah, like Daka Rich, exactly. True, he could be that striker, could be that replacement, but they're still going to need a player to take the role that he had last season, being a rotation option as well. Tara Malacia, Dutch. Oh yeah, he's been linked, but we'll talk about him because he's been linked with a certain club in Manchester, Wolverhampton and Wolverhampton. You know what I mean? Wolverhampton and Tereak mixed together. I like what you're doing there. Oh, did I just think of that? You're playing words with Rich, and hey, see, it works. Oh, big up yourself, Nar. Oh, the legend. We love you. We love you too, Nar. We love every single one of you in the chat right now. We like to try and make this an interactive stream, as always. You know, I could be doing it in video format, but I prefer to sit here and chat with you guys and see how you're doing. Solo in the place, saying big up, bro. Hope you're keeping good, Solo. Thanks for tuning in. And big up to yourself as well. And everyone else that is in here. And has Vardy gone to Fleetwood? He hasn't, Solo. I don't believe, unless there's something that I've missed. I don't think he has. And maybe that could be a move later on in his career, going back to Fleetwood. He certainly could suit that league. He's shown that he can do it across all the leagues in England, for sure. Tereak used to promote Manscaped, must have had a falling out. Hey, no fallings out here at Manscaped. It's just, you know, contracts, business. But yo, Manscaped, if you wanna, anyone else, hit me up, baby, and then maybe we can sort this beard out, and you know what, hit the gym a little bit more, and then you'll be like, whew, yeah, I want this guy to be the face. But socials gas me up. That's what it is. That's why I'm saying that now. Will Vardy retire after this season? I can't see him retiring, but maybe making a move. That was close to a howl when I said that. But yeah, we'll move on into the next club, people. Before I do that, I've literally wrote Wolverhampton 9 and social gets it. I'm sorry, Peony. I apologize. You see, he stole your homework, and then that's what happened. It happened to me at school all the time. Whenever I did, that's why I didn't do homework. Ain't that right, teachers? He had an interview on Sky Sports saying something regarding him going to Fleetwood this coming season. Interesting. I don't see it happening this season, in all honesty with you, Solo, because of Leicester's issues at the moment with their strikers, and if they are looking to add in that area, if they let Jamie Vardy go, it will weaken their stance, I think, Solo. And clubs will be asking for even more, probably an extra 5 to 10 million, just because they'll know Leicester's situation in trying to replace Jamie Vardy straight away. So if they could potentially replace him, maybe 1 or 2, if they sign 2 strikers, then it could possibly happen. But whilst they are in this predicament where they definitely need to sign a striker, I don't think they will let him go just yet. Man, yeah, I know. I know it isn't. Yeah, I don't use it there because you know, but social. I know. Well, I had that sponsorship previously, but hopefully we can go again. Anyone else? We're here. Daka, KDH, Kieran Dewsbury Hall are good replacements coming in the club. Yeah, they could be. But when we're talking about depth, Moss, for Leicester, they did struggle with that at points last season. So if they are to let anyone else go, like a Tielemans, they're going to need to have depth in there as well. So up front and in midfield, I think that's what they're looking at, reading what I've seen on The Athletic and other news outlets out there for Leicester. But we'll talk about Liverpool now. We are here talking about Liverpool. We got Liverpool fans in not the comment section today, I don't think, but we do have Liverpool fans who are subscribers to the channel. My sister in particular, in Tish. We will be talking about them, and they're looking to have a busy summer indeed. Before we talk about the ins with the big news that's coming out today, we'll talk about outs first, and that is Sadio Mane, which is also news that's come out relatively recent, I guess. Since I made the last video, which was yesterday, so it is recent. In that Sadio Mane and Liverpool, Sadio Mane publicised, well known that he wants to leave, and his preferred destination is Bayern Munich. Liverpool have rejected a bid of 30 million plus add-ons, but they are looking something towards the 40 million and not quite looking in the add-ons region, according to reports. But that's Bayern testing the waters, having their first initial bid rejected. So they have confirmed their interest in the player, which was just rumours and he say, she say at the moment. But Mane, who has told his teammates that he will be leaving, that one has been rejected. So Mane looks a certain like a player who's going to be leaving Liverpool, as well as Nat Phillips, Reece Williams, Nico Williams could be leaving as well. So the Williams not brothers, the Williams double could be leaving. And then Takumi Minamino could be leaving, as well as 4 clubs are interested in the Japanese international. So interesting times for Liverpool. And they're going to be having a few players going out. Is this the start of Liverpool's regeneration, their transition that Klopp is going to be taking them through after signing his new deal? So Mane, Phillips, Williams, double, the 2 Williams, and Minamino could be leaving, and we may even see more on top of that as we progress throughout the summer. But those are the players that certainly look like they'll be leaving the door. But Liverpool today, the big news, and this could be the Mane replacement. In Liverpool are confident and are interested in signing Benfica, and Uruguayan international, heavily linked with Arsenal, Manchester United, West Ham, and plenty of other clubs around Europe, Darwin Nunez. And it will be, if they do land him, a club record transfer fee. So Liverpool could be breaking the bank in their terms for Darwin Nunez, who had a fantastic season for Benfica in all competitions, scoring plenty, 6 goals in a difficult Champions League run up against the likes of Ajax, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Liverpool themselves. Wow, Darwin Nunez could be heading to Anfield, and he could be snubbing interest from the likes of Manchester United to go there. Liverpool have also been linked with Calvin Ramsey, looking to fill in that right back position as having depth for Trent Alexander-Arnold, who is Calvin Ramsey, who is an Aberdeen player at the moment. They've been heavily linked with him. Looks like a deal that will be completed in the summer. Loosely linked with Lewandowski, but as the Nunez rumours start to heat up and their confidence starts to rise, I don't think they'll be looking at Lewandowski anymore, who seems to have his heart set on going to Barcelona. They've also been loosely linked with Bukayo Saka, and Manchester City, I know we haven't got to them, but they've kind of played down their interest in Saka. So Liverpool could be the leading candidates if Saka does decide to leave. I don't think it will, people. Don't worry. That's why I'm not getting too anxious or anything about that. But he's been linked with Liverpool, and so has a long-term link with Jude Bellingham. But what looks like can happen in this summer is a Calvin Ramsey in at right back for them. Depth to Trent had a successful season at Aberdeen last season in the Scottish, in the SPFL. And then Darwin Nunez, who had a breakout season for Benfica. And yeah, could be a huge signing for them. Could he bring goals? I'm looking at that. Darwin Nunez for Liverpool, I think he suits their style of play more than he would. And more, I think he'd fit in at Liverpool better than at any other club in the Premier League, with the intensity that Liverpool play with, the press, the energy that he does seem to have, and how Klopp seems to mould players and take players to that next level, because Darwin Nunez isn't yet world class. I think he's in that level below quite comfortably. He's not really teetering on the edge, even after a breakout season like he had. But there are still areas of his game that he needs to develop, like his hold-up play. In the Premier League, it will be a lot tougher. He's shown a lot of strength in European competitions, and you know how nous, energy, but we're going to need to see hold-up play. And he does like to drive and dribble at players, so I'm not going to say that he's not got the technical ability to do that. But it's different, back to goal, holding off defenders, linking up play with the wingers like Salah, Jota, Diaz, Firmino, and whatnot, wherever he does decide to play. Aerially as well, being 6'2", 6'3", probably in those regions. He's not the greatest in the air, but given his height, I'm sure he has room to develop, and he would offer them a different threat in the air, being taller than the other forwards that they have. Interesting for Liverpool. Is this their match for Manchester City's Haaland? And yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But I want to see what you guys and girls are saying in the live chat. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Snuck in just in time, says Tishi. That's what we love to see. I won't tell him. He'll know now. I'm sorry, I've baited you out. Arsenal, Liverpool battle for the title. Nah, I don't see that happening, Moss. I don't see it happening. Not for us. I think it'll be more of the same with Liverpool, Manchester City. But Peony saying Klopp getting sacked 9 games for being... What? You see, I had to stop reading that then, because I was thinking, what is this? Hey, I'm not saying that. Liverpool should go for Pepe. Would be a great fit. Hey, we're looking to try and offload Pepe social. We're trying to. And that Everton blue, Tereak, it's not Everton blue. It's not no one blue. Blue is actually my favourite colour to wear, by the way. Yeah, it is. I didn't mean to put it on purpose, but yeah. Chino saying Nuno is a double snakes, AWB on the ball. Certainly needs to develop that in his game. He does like to drive. I've seen him take a few step overs, which was a bit, yeah, not one of the, fluid. He's not a Luis Diaz on the ball, let me say that. But he might just be that, that Klopp 100% driving type of striker that will just bang goals. Is Haaland great on the ball? Chino, you know what I'm saying? Like uncomfortable conversations right there. That's all. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Is that a velvet? You know it's velvet. We're spending more time on my do-rag and that than talking about Liverpool. Lewandowski. Oh, wow. It's Leeds, Leicester, Chelsea, Dodgies or Blue Tea. The fans want to know. Maybe Warriors. That's it. Warriors. That's what I'll say that, Moss. Wait, I didn't say that. I don't know who said that. I told you Nunez fees will go way up on Jan the 1st. Yes. After a big summer and, a full season. And in January too, but they rejected a £50 million offer, so they probably set their standard high even in January. It is indeed social. But yeah, we've spoken about Liverpool right there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments if you're watching afterwards. And then Manchester City, that's who we're going to be talking about. Wait, have you still got the price tag? I haven't got the price tag. It's just the label. It's just the label right there. No price tag. But yeah, Manchester City, we're going to be talking about their summer business because it looks to be an eventful one for them too, as they're going through their beginning of their transition as well. But they seem to have done their business early, which we haven't seen from Liverpool yet. bringing in a Haaland, bringing in a Julian Alvarez as well. So that's 2 forwards. So Haaland most certainly is going to be that central striker. Alvarez, who can play across the front three. He looks like he will be the Gabriel Jesus replacement, and Haaland's just adding greater quality into that situation. I know it hasn't been confirmed yet with Haaland, but Alvarez certainly has, because that was completed in January. And he was sent back on loan out to River Plate. He looks to be a top player coming, and their forward line has just gone to the next level. Yeah, as you didn't think Man City could get any better, they've signed 2 strikers. That certainly improved them. And then also for Manchester City, they're looking for a left back, central defensive midfielder, a replacement for Fernandinho, and possibly a central midfielder as well, which doesn't seem to be their priority this summer, but they are looking for a replacement long-term, with Ilkay Gundogan's contract due to expire at the end of the season. He's not desperate for a move, but he's open to moving. So we'll have to see how that develops for Manchester City. But in terms of outs, they're looking to, Jesus and Zinchenko are the players that are heavily linked to leave, going to Arsenal. But Jesus is attracting interest from Chelsea now, Spurs, Real Madrid have been loosely linked, but it seems like they're out of the equation. But Zinchenko has received interest from Arsenal and West Ham in particular. I know there's other clubs that have been loosely linked, like a Newcastle, Everton, but it seems to be more West Ham and Arsenal who are going right in for Zinchenko at the moment. Nathan Ake looks like another player who could be leaving. Hasn't been a successful move for Nathan Ake from Bournemouth. What was it, 40 million they spent on him? But they're rumoured to be looking at 50 million, so they could potentially be making a profit on a player that hasn't done well in a City shirt in the past, 2 seasons now. Crazy. But Newcastle have been the team heavily linked with Nathan Ake there, as they're looking to sign players, as they, we'll get into Newcastle, but they're looking to sign players in the summer with their embarrassment of riches now. And a player who looks like, I'm not sure if he will leave, but he has been linked, and this could develop in Raheem Sterling. I just don't see that there's any club out there that are desperate for Raheem Sterling and in England, and I don't think there's anyone that could pay what Manchester City want out in Europe, as well as paying a transfer fee, players, agents, etc. I don't see that happening. So I think I think Raheem Sterling could be staying put. But with Jesus, the difference with that, he has a year left on his contract. So Manchester City, as the window goes on, they could be looking to let his contract run down, and they brought in a Haaland and Alvarez, so there isn't really much room for Jesus to be involved in that squad and get the sufficient player time that he would want to be happy. So maybe I think a Jesus transfer, wherever he does go, it could be a long drawn-out process, in all honesty. I know that's not what you want to hear, Arsenal fans, but it would suit the club, the buyers, better, because the later we get into the summer, the more his value will be likely to diminish, I believe. If you go and sign him now, what Man City want for 50 million, if that could be different in a month's time and could take a 10 to 20 million pound slash, you'd be stupid to sign him now rather than wait until the early part of July, where that's where we're going to be seeing him playing and training pre-season. So yeah, or even in August, in all honesty, if his value could diminish at that point. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I wouldn't mind waiting out on Jesus, but Zinchenko, wherever he does go, will be interesting. But the players that Manchester City have been linked in left back and in central defensive midfield, we spoke about him yesterday in Marc Cucurella, who had a fantastic first season at Brighton, playing left wing back, playing left back, and also playing at the left centre back in a back 3 as well. So showing his versatility and tactical nous in Cucurella. He can go forward, can do the defensive work, and shown that he's a Premier League quality level player as well. That who they have been linked with in midfield of late has been Calvin Phillips. Sorry, not Kelvin. Calvin Phillips of Leeds United. And that would be an interesting transfer. I do think he would be a like-for-like replacement with Fernandinho. In a sense, not aerially, because I know Calvin Phillips is actually taller than Fernandinho, but Fernandinho's aerial threat and aerial ability in both boxes was very underrated, scored plenty of goals in the air as well, off set pieces for City, defensively as well, whereas Calvin Phillips' weakest part of his game is actually aerially. But Rodri he'd most likely be a backup or a rotational option for Rodri. So yeah, and it would be a good move for Calvin Phillips. I'm sure he'd get plenty of playing time with Pep Guardiola playing his Pep roulette. So they could potentially be bolstering in at left back and in the central midfield area, and they would most certainly having an improvement at left back, which would add, tactical versatility, where we could see, we've seen for the majority of last season a Kyle Walker at right back, João Cancelo at left back, who had a fantastic season, moving him back to right back, rotating Kyle Walker a bit more, and having a Cucurella offering that outlet attacking when we'll match João Cancelo, I believe, going forward as well. So that's a big statement from me if Cucurella went to Manchester City, but they're looking good there right now, there and now. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section as we're going to go into the live chat right about now, talking about these guys. All team missing is the blue moonlight. I've left my little light switch over there. Sorry, sis. Now you've gone. Social says, I predict Haaland to get 9 goals for the league next season. So Social's predicting that Haaland, the same amount of viewers that are locked in right now, big up to you all. 9 goals. That's, I guess, that's a poor season given how much, is expected of Haaland. But it's not unthinkable to see a Pep player, an attacker for Pep, take time. And we've seen defenders take time for Pep to really adapt to the system. That's not great, though. That would most certainly be an underachievement if he did get 9 goals. Haaland to lead, and then Moss coming in with the absolute opposite, saying he will lead the Premier League in goals. Early, bold call from Moss. And yeah, I can hear both sides of the argument. Certainly can, because, when we're talking about Haaland's quality, the chances that Manchester City will create for him, and they've got a lethal finisher now in Haaland, who in his early career has scored plenty of goals in the Champions League, nationally as well for Norway. I know you'll know that, Moss, as well, in Austria. And yeah, we're going to have to wait and see for Haaland. It's interesting. So we've got Social teetering on a below par season for Haaland, and Moss saying he's going to bang from early. Big up, Louis. I'm doing good, thank you. Hope you are well too, and everyone else that has joined. We got Bobby in here too. Thank you, Bobby. Hope you're keeping good, and hope you're all well and having a fantastic week so far, as we are on hump day at the moment. To be honest, I'd rather not Zinchenko with all this political war going on. It's one of those, but with Zinchenko, what's your reason for that? Because, yeah, do you think that will affect the player mentally? He seems to have coped with it well so far, representing his nation and Manchester City extremely well, showing a lot of strength in character, but we don't know how things may develop. So I hear that standpoint too, but from what I've seen with Zinchenko is he definitely has the character, leadership and capability to manage whilst what's going on in the world. And you know what? You got to give credit to him, and you should really applaud it, because we don't know. Like, we've not been in that situation. A lot of us, we may have some people in the comments who have heritage or who themselves come from war-torn countries. But for me, being a British Caribbean guy, yeah, kind of man now, even though, being the baby in the family, they'll probably think different. But yeah, being a British Caribbean man, yeah, I've not come from those situations, so I can't even relate or even speak to people that kind of relate. So it's been crazy to see, and yeah, I'm sure those of you who are watching who know people or have heritage themselves will know how difficult that is. I'd love Raheem at Palace. His wages are kind of different level, though. I think a lot of people would love Raheem Sterling. A lot of fans wouldn't as well, because there's just agendas. Agenda, Louis. But yeah, Raheem Sterling, would he get in over Zaha, though? That's the question. I'm sure with, how Palace fans love Zaha, they probably wouldn't take Sterling over Zaha. But yeah, definitely a quality player that would fit anywhere. Big up Santi in the place right there and then. Oh man, trying to wind up our boy. Louis Sterling's wage will bankrupt us. Exactly that. I think he would do that to most sides. It's Manchester City's money. That's what it is. It's priced us all out of the market. Santi also saying, I hope that Haaland robot short circuits will run with all the rain in Manchester. Hey, you know about that, Santi? You know about that? It's true. Maybe he could. He does seem like he's a goal machine and he kind of runs like a robot. So he could do indeed. Big up Luke. And it's his birthday tomorrow. Luke, I won't be streaming on your birthday, so I want to give you a massive happy birthday right now, my bro. Hope you're keeping good. 1 year older, and your hairline is gone 1 inch back as well. That's what we like to see. Big up. Now, guys, if those of you who do like, you know, have hairline, I mean, like, I'm not hair loss issues. I'm not atting you. I'm not directing at you. It's just Luke. He always tries to send for me. So yeah. Big up, big up Luke Cena right there and then. Back to the football now, people. That's what you're here for. And we're going to talk about Manchester United. So we've gone from the blue side of Manchester, the title winners of Manchester, the success breeding in that side. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to wind up Man United fans. Apologies right there. And we're going to go to the dark, gloomy red side of Manchester, which I think, and I will say this after cussing you guys out. Well, not really. Just, you know, yeah, I could go in further, but just kind of rubbing a bit of salt in the wound. I think you're going to have you guys are most certainly the team that I'm going to watch this summer because there's so much that needs to be done. And the transition that you guys are going to need to go through, which who even knows if it will happen with your ownership, with your owners being the Glazers. New manager, bright manager, and the fans' favourite in Ten Hag coming in, change across the boardroom and in the potential structure changes, players leaving like Paul Pogba, Juan Mata, Nemanja Matic. Juan Mata left, I think so. But yeah, though there's plenty of outs to be expected. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Eric Bailly, Andres Pereira, and plenty more that could leave Manchester United, and a lot of ins needed to replace those players and certainly upgrade on certain positions. In terms of ins, this is what I've listed for Manchester United. So a right back most certainly is needed this summer. I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka will leave, whether it be a loan at some point. It might be one of those ones that goes to the end of the window where he leaves on loan, has a pre-season. Eric Ten Hag, not a big fan, gets him out on loan. So yeah, Aaron Wan-Bissaka will leave, I believe. So right back, certainly needed. One centre-back, yes, you know, you guys would want two or maybe more. But realistically, given the amount of change that's going to go on, one centre back, I think, or maybe you could get a centre back who can play right back as well, who's versatile. So we could have the centre back partnerships or the centre backs in the club of Varane, Lindelof, Maguire, and whoever that centre back will be. You have been linked with the Urian Timber and Bastoni of late. So those are the two players that seem to be heavily linked with United, and Timber, who would certainly cover the right back and centre back position and would be more depth in that centre back and maybe starting at right back for this season. And you could see him as a young defender develop there and then eventually become a centre back, a Maguire replacement or whatnot, or whoever. I think that could work. Bastoni would definitely improve you on that left side of centre back position and would make the likes of Varane and Maguire battle it out for that centre back position on that right. Victor Lindelof as well. So yeah, interesting. Who would you guys want? Who would you guys prefer? A Urian Timber or Bastoni, or anyone else that you've been linked with that I haven't mentioned in that centre back position? Right back as well, you've been linked with a Jed Spence, of course. We'll see how that goes. We haven't really seen as many links for a right back as you imagine, but that's because the links have been elsewhere, and what has dominated is most certainly in that central defensive midfield position, which everyone and their dog knows that Man United need to improve in. And that is Frenkie De Jong, which is interesting because the player clearly doesn't want to leave. The player clearly doesn't want to leave, but Barcelona need to sell a big star, an asset to recoup some money so that they can get their players that they desire in at the club. Of course, Man United, they're interested in the player, but they're not looking to overpay for a Frenkie De Jong. So there's a little bit of, they're not seeing eye to eye there in terms of the clubs. And Frenkie De Jong doesn't want to leave. If he's forced out the door, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world for a Frenkie De Jong to be reunited with Erik Ten Hag and playing in the Premier League for Manchester United under Erik Ten Hag, sorry. But yeah, if he goes to Manchester United, if he does, I'll be worried, because that is a certain upgrade in that midfield position. He's not the defensive, he's going to break up play. He's going to be your... He's not even going to be your Sangare, who you've been linked with, who is definitely and primarily a central defense midfielder that's good in the ball progression. But De Jong is if you are going to play in centre defensive midfield, a heavily possession-based centre defensive midfield, suits a back three in that deep line and can drop back into a back three as well. Has played at centre-back under Erik Ten Hag at Ajax as well, people, in a back three. So he can do that, but what his main attributes is passing. When I say short passing, keeping it ticking, one touch, ball progression, mobility in that midfield. His recovery runs are excellent, Frenkie De Jong, and I think he'd suit the Premier League in that in terms of the mobility and the technical ability. You won't need to worry about size. He's quite tall in himself, 5'11", 2. So you'd add aerial threat and aerial ability in that midfield, and a lot more quality technically. It would be technically the best player at Manchester United by a mile in that midfield, should I say. And yeah, and it would be, a decent replacement. They'd also be looking at a Sangare, and Ibrahima Sangare is impressed at PSV, has heavily been linked with previous clubs in with Arsenal, the likes of Arsenal when he was at Toulouse in Ligue 1. I remember keeping an eye on him when we was looking at a central defence midfielder before we brought Thomas Partey in. I'd still love it, Ibrahima Sangare, given his 6'3", very robust, defensive. The numbers he put out in Eredivisie, take with a pinch of salt because it is in that league. But what I've seen from the guy, yeah, that would be a top signing for Man United. So if you could potentially bring a De Jong and Sangare, which I don't think would happen, that would be a dream summer for you guys in midfield. But then also, we're speaking about forwards as well that you guys do need. And you have been linked with a Darwin Nunez and Christopher Nkunku of late. It's going to be interesting the direction that Manchester United go, because as we've literally spoken about, they need recruitment in at least two positions in the defense, 2 positions in the midfield, and 2 positions in the forward line as well. And then we're going to be talking about squad depth. But in terms of squad depth for Manchester United, they've had a lot of players go out on loan last season, and if they do decide to keep a lot of those players, then they could potentially add squad depth in Facundo Pellistri, James Garner, and Amad Diallo. Maybe it would lighten the load that they need to go in the transfer market and really allow them to invest heavily in the key positions that they need to invest in. We'll have to wait and see. Let me know your thoughts, Manchester United fans. Spending too long on United part 3 incoming. I promise you I won't. It's just an interesting summer for United. Linked with so many players just to buy Pope as a 4th backup keeper. Yeah, you did that in the summer, didn't you? You signed Tom Heaton, and you had like Dean Henderson, David De Gea, of course, Lee Grant, and Pope. Sorry, you throw me off, and the Tom Heaton. So yeah, I will move on from Manchester United now, as we move on into another team that's going to have an intriguing summer. I still don't think it will be as interesting as Manchester United, but a Newcastle United. And they have brought Matty Targett in today, so that has been confirmed for Newcastle. With the ins also, they're looking to add in that creative midfield area. Certainly looking to get a striker, which it looks like Hugo Ekitike could be the signing that they have. And they are going to make that young French striker who's been linked with a lot of clubs like Manchester United as well, but he looks like he will be heading to Tyneside in Newcastle. So, oh man, if Newcastle have a big summer, maybe we might worry about them, but I don't actually expect Newcastle to have as many players in as we thought they would with the new ownership, because they did bring in a lot of players in January. And I don't think the new owners, with how they're speaking, they don't want to be taken for granted. And everyone knows they've got plenty of money and they don't want to be literally taken a mick out of with certain prices being bandied around, like for Nathan Ake. So what I think Newcastle will end up doing is at most they'll probably bring 4 players in. Now, I mean, they've brought in a Matty Target. They look like they're bringing a Hugo Ekitike, maybe a Lucas Paqueta in there as well, who's been heavily linked with them, and looks like, you know, all the rumours being banded around could happen about. And a centre-back. Can I see much more than that? I don't really think so. Maybe I'll hold my hands up, and when we do the season preview, where we could get closer to the start of the season, maybe it will be different and the links around there. But yeah, Newcastle, and in terms of outs, I haven't really seen much in terms of outs for them. But big in as well. When I say a big in, someone who's been brought in is Dan Ashworth from Brighton, who has been the key for Brighton's success, bringing in a Graham Potter, bringing in players like Cucurella, Bissouma, Trossard, and, you know, Adam Webster, Sanchez in goal. Yeah, top players right there. Brighton are brought in. And Dan Ashworth, technical director. If he can have that same similar magic with the budget he's going to have at Newcastle, we're talking big P's right there. We really are. And Social saying Newcastle just signed Target for 12 million, didn't they? Respectful signings. That kind of shows how they're going into this transfer window. They're not looking to just be ridiculous and just spend a whole heap of money on players that aren't you know, going to be a huge risk. I think that is a low risk signing for Matty Target, because they had him in January on loan, and now they're going to sign, and they've signed him permanently. They know what they're going to get. They know the level he's going to be at, and with the quality around him, already having Trippier on one side. Promising season for Newcastle coming up, and we'll see how they do. And yeah, we'll get into the predictions when we get later on into the summer. But the next side we're going to speak about now is the new boys in Nottingham Forest, and it's going to be interesting because, as we said, the transfer window hasn't opened yet, and they've only recently just been promoted. What was it? Was it last week? Was it last week? Yeah, it was last weekend. No, yeah, it was last weekend, wasn't it? Oh, I might be wrong. No, it wasn't last weekend. Sorry. No. Weekend before, 2 weeks ago, Nottingham Forest got promoted. Sorry for spending so long on that. But we haven't really seen too much in terms of players coming in at the moment. It's still very early days. But with Jed Spence, who was a loanee for Nottingham Forest from Middlesbrough, if they do manage to keep him and get him into the Premier League and probably sign like a relegation clause or whatnot, I think that would be the best decision for Jed Spence, in all honesty, is to go to Nottingham Forest, because it's a side that he knows, a manager that he understands as well, who trusts him. He'll have a great platform in the Premier League to express his ability. And if the worst case scenario is Nottingham Forest go down, clubs will take a punt on him, and it'll be even cheaper for them, I can imagine, to sign, because, yeah, he'll be relegated. But, I mean, well, he'll be cheap now because he's at Middlesbrough. But, yeah, they'll be in a stronger position and Nottingham Forest will get a transfer fee for him as well and be repaid for the faith that they showed in him and getting him in. So win-win for all parties. But if they don't, and if you guys watched Pros Only Sports, and when I was on there doing African Cup of Nations watch along, me and Roland were certainly talking about this player in Issa Kabore, the Burkina Faso international. Hey, he could be a signing for them at right wing back. And if you don't know Issa Kabore, he was on loan at Troyes. Yeah, he was on loan at Troyes in Ligue 1, but he is a Manchester City player, and he's certainly a right wing back. Very dynamic, quick, forward thinking, and would offer a similar ability and player profile to a Jed Spence. And that's a player I think would be interested. He's one of the few players that I've seen linked with Nottingham Forest of late. So Issa Kabore, what a signing that would be for Forest, I believe. So yes, people, if you know what I'm talking about, get in the comments and show your support for Issa Kabore. But Jay saying the main thing for Nottingham Forest is to firstly keep loan players like Spence, Garnett, Davis. Then they think about making the team stronger, but it has to be done smartly, like Brentford type signings. And Jay, That is the perfect way to summarize it. You've summarized it in way shorter, way quicker, less words than I did in the best way. Yet they will. I don't think they will get a James Garner in though, unless Manchester United and Erik ten Hag don't deem him to be ready for first team football for them yet. Keenan Davis impressed, the Aston Villa striker, for them on loan last season. So he physical presence added in there. Will he be the type of striker? Is he the right striker in terms of an upgrade for them? I'm not too sure. But with Jed Spence and Garner, I think they have shown Premier League quality. They'll certainly need to add in that forward line, like you've said, too. So, yeah, I think that's a great comment, though, there, Jay. Top man. Love that. And, yeah, let me know your thoughts. I am slowly but surely. We'll see as the summer goes on. But we'll move on and we won't spend too long on this. And we might actually get done within an hour. I don't think so. Can't speak too soon. I like to ramble on a little bit. But with Southampton, and it's not looking a great summer for Southampton so far. We are early into it, but they have been linked with not really many players. Linked with Takumi Minamino, who spent his time there out on loan in... not last season, the season before, from the 2020. That's it. Was it 20? Okay, whatever. This not last season, but the season before. He spent time out on loan there for Southampton. They've been interested. They're looking to sign players in that forward position. In terms of outs, they're going to have to look for a replacement for Broja, who's gone back to Chelsea. So that's why they're linked with the Takumi Minamino. But other than that, very quiet around Southampton. Haven't really had too many players linked that I've known about. If you're a Southampton fan, let me know. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to move on from you guys there. Only seeing Takumi Minamino, not looking to be a great summer for them. But big up John in the place right now. I'm doing good. And Jay, I think there's two teams. Southampton, that could certainly be in trouble. And I'll get into the next side. And they had a poor end to the season last when we're talking about it. They were shocking, Jay. So I can certainly see that being a problem for them next season. They're not recruiting it. It doesn't look like they're recruiting anyone. They struggle towards the latter end, as I've just said about the 15 minute time. They're going to need to add into striking areas, which they lacked a lot of goals. James Ward-Prowse getting them out of a lot of sticky predicaments with his free kicks. Problem time for Southampton, I do believe. So I do think they will be in trouble as my early shout. And we'll move on into, I'm sorry, Arsenal fans, but it will be Spurs people. And we're going to be talking about Tottenham Hotspur, who are going to have an interesting summer indeed. Already have brought in Ivan Perisic and Fraser Forster, adding in some experience into their side. I think Ivan Perisic will be a first team addition in at wing back. Antonio Conte knows the players, played him, managed him at Inter Milan as well in their title winning season, has recently developed into a wing back since his time there at Inter Milan. And they've also signed a backup goalkeeper in Fraser Forster, who is an out. And I forgot to mention, he will have to be a replacement for Southampton that they're going to be looking at as well. So yeah, they're losing their key players like a Fraser Forster, Southampton. And to become a backup goalkeeper at Spurs and understudy to Hugo Lloris, they're going to need an improvement for sure, Southampton. But for Spurs, already started their summer early with a cash injection from ENIC, the first time Spurs fans have ever seen that. It does look promising for them as they're in the Champions League, and it will their signings. Actually, how much will Spurs actually do? Because they have signed Romero, Bentancur, Kulusevski. The transfer fees have been paid in this summer, and that's going to be close to 100 million that they're going to have spent on those three players. Interesting to see how much Spurs will actually spend. But yeah, with Antonio Conte at the helm, he looks like he will be trusted. In fact, having said that, having given my little bit of doubt there, which I'm trying to see sow in as an Arsenal fan, Bobby K, you're going to have to let us know your thoughts on Spurs. Bastoni here, who has been linked with them. They've also been linked with a Gabriel Jesus. looking like a promising summer for Spurs. But in terms of outs, Steven Bergwijn, who we mentioned, he looked like he could be leaving. It's going to be interesting to see what happens to the likes of Harry Winks if they do decide to get another player in the summer, who they've also been linked with. He's Basuma in that midfield. Harry Winks, he'll have to look to leave. At the back, there's going to be a lot of players that will be looking to be shifted out, but may not at the same time because of the amount of defenders that Conte likes to play with. But he does really like to have a settled side. But given the competitions that they're going to be competing in, having European football back in the Champions League, competing in the Premier League, FA Cups, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and being a World Cup year with the summer break, which will condense the season at points. Interesting to see how Spurs are going to manage that. So yeah, big summer for Spurs. We'll see how they'll go on. Already started the summer bang on. So we'll see there. And into West Ham United. So this is the penultimate team we are on right now. Then we'll go on to the Wolverhampton Wanderers. But for West Ham, they are looking at a striker. That's the big position they're looking to add in the summer. They tried to, in January, bring in a Darwin Nunez, but that fee was rejected, that £50 million. So they've been sniffing around the likes of Eddie Nketiah if he does end up deciding to leave. But the striker area is certainly what they're going to be looking to add, and competition for Antonio, replacement and rotation for him. But they've also been linked with an Alexander Zinchenko. So it looks like West Ham, they're also looking to add in, and for Zinchenko, they're looking to add him into a left back or a left wing back position, depending on what formation David Moyes decides to go through in what particular game. Has shown to be tactically fluid with West Ham, playing a 3 at the back, 4 at times. But he would certainly, but he's rumoured that he looks to be put in that area. And for Arsenal, he could be a central midfield option. So yeah, it will be interesting summer for what West Ham do. But they've been heavily linked with a player they also had on loan in Jesse Lingard, who is a free transfer now and has left Manchester United, who will be weighing up his options. Will he head back to East London to play for West Ham United? We're going to have to wait and see. But their key area they're going to be looking into is striker for sure. Outs. Declan Rice, will he leave this summer? Highly doubt it. And if he signs that ridiculous contract offer that was rumoured, I don't know how credible or true it is. So don't shoot the messenger. But he'd be stupid, and it'd be ridiculous for him to sign that contract if he's looking to potentially leave and if he wants to become a world-class player. Just no. And Marseille, please no De Jong. He's so good. I can understand that as a rival fan. Donkey out and get a good CB in. Rafa and Manu can be good again. Moss believing in the transition if they do it right under Erik ten Hag. But Wolverhampton Wanderers, and this is the last side we're going to be talking about now. And Jay, you asked this question: could the Saints be in trouble next season? Jay, this is the second team who I think could be in big trouble next season, given their end to the season there, 2022, the whole year really in 2022. The players that are looking to be leaving, Ruben Neves has been heavily touted to be leaving Wolves this season, but Wolves are going to demand around 70 million for Ruben Neves. Don't think there's any club out there that would be willing to take that risk. But Ruben Neves, if he leaves, that's a big loss and a big area that they're going to need to fulfill. They need squad depth anyway in central midfield. So if they lose a Ruben Neves, their talent recruitment in the last season hasn't been great, people. I'm not going to lie. It hasn't been top. As you know, as a lot of people like to say, Fabio Silva, he's not looked to be a success. Trincao, it didn't work out for him on loan. Even, who else have they signed of late? They haven't signed too many. They didn't sign many last season. I know Totti Gomez ended up coming back, but it's not great for them. Honestly, I'm worried for Wolves. They've not been linked with many players. They're one of the clubs that have been linked with a Takumi Minamino. For me, when I'm looking at what they need to address, Wolverhampton Wanderers, right, they're going to need a centre-back at least. Johnny coming back may compete for that right wing-back spot and give him a little bit of depth in both areas, in the left wing-back and right wing-back. So, yeah, I want improve on that left wing-back spot because I like Johnny and Ait-Nouri. I'm not a big fan of Semedo myself personally, but Wolves, it might not be a necessity for them, but they certainly need to get a centre-back. Roman Saiss leaving as well. Forgot to mention before Wolves fans, before Ed shouts at me, you haven't mentioned about him being announced, so that's an extra reason why they need to get a centre-back in. And yeah, it's not been too many. They were linked with Sven Botman last summer. He looks like he's going to be going elsewhere, whether it's AC Milan, Newcastle, but it doesn't look like he'll be heading into the West Midlands. They're going to need an addition in midfield to replace Moutinho as his legs are beginning to wane. The quality's still there, the brain's still ticking, but physically, in a physically demanding league, it's an extra year. They're going to need to replace him. If a Ruben Neves goes, they're going to certainly need to replace him in quality. And they're going to need to add depth if Leander Dendoncker does decide to leave for Lazio as well. So there's few outs for Wolves. They're going to need to add in that forward position, as we know, with Raul Jimenez not being at the level he was previously. And then in the wide areas, Adama could be leaving too. There's so much uncertainty surrounding Wolves at the moment. And it could, I think, early shout. Bruno Lage could be one of the first managers sacked next season if it doesn't start well for them. Big shout indeed. But yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, we have gone through those sides. And yeah, so just to wrap up on Wolves, they need a centre-back, at least at least one central midfielder, possibly two. For me, they need a wide forward and a striker. So that's what three, four players in their spine that they're going to need to replace. Yeah. And if they don't do that with sufficient signings, I think they could be in trouble, people. I'm talking relegation when I say trouble. Be careful for Wolverhampton Wanderers. But big up to everyone who has tuned in to this live stream. Thank you for tuning in once again, people. This has been part 2. So we've done over 2 hours of content altogether talking about football and the summer business that's needed to be done by most clubs in the league. We didn't really go into too much depth on Southampton and whatnot, but we spoke about Wolves. We went from Arsenal to Wolves, spent a lot of time on United as well. But yeah, it will be an interesting summer, people. I will be bringing content throughout the summer. I'm trying to look to do a weekly show. Really, essentially, I would love to do it daily. That's what I want to do. But the only way I can do it daily is if you guys continue showing support that you do show. Continue doing that. Get in the comments. Leave a like on the stream. If you're not able to watch it straight away, add it into your playlist to watch later. Leave a like. Just drop a comment in. When you're watching after the streams, just drop a comment in there. Because, yeah, this is, I will be honest, it is a difficult period for not just myself, but for all content creators. Because, yeah, we haven't really got too much football. We're talking about transfer rumours that a lot of them, aren't true. They're exciting. Yes, you can find them exciting, but, yeah, it's hard to really get invested into them because you're talking about potential, what could literally could change tomorrow. Do you know what I'm saying? When we're predicting football, of course, nothing's ever a given in football, but when you're predicting it, you usually have games to talk about. You move on to the next one, etc. In this period, it gets a little bit more difficult, but it allows us to be a lot more creative and even go and talk about other things that we want to talk about sport. We will keep the content rolling, ladies and gents. And the first days of this channel, I was doing videos, just quick updates when players were signing. I might end up going back to that, but only once again, if you guys enjoy it, I will do it. And yeah, if you guys think it's good and you want to hear my quick thoughts, maybe 10-15 minutes on a certain player signing for a certain club, I'm more than open to doing that. Just let me know your thoughts in the comments afterwards. The end of the show is just, kind of giving you an update of what's going to be happening this weekend as well. On Friday and Saturday, I will be doing a gaming stream on Twitch. So when I say gaming stream, I'm just going to be there chatting to you guys, chilling. If you want, let me know. also, if you're going to be there, hit me up on my socials. If you're interested in any games, if you guys want to play, those of you got my number. If you got my what's it called as well, my socials, let me know, people. We can definitely talk there and try and get something sorted as well. So Friday, Saturday, we'll be doing gaming, and then the big one, people. In terms, you guys want to know? I know that's what you're here for. The forfeit for our brother Edmin, yeah. The chili gummy bear, the world's hottest gummy bear, is due to come tomorrow. So not just Peeny, Thursday's not just a big day for you, which we're all cheering for. Big up our boy Peens. Go secure that bag. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, if you want to know, join the Discord server as well. We'll get the link out there into the comments as well. But yeah, and yes. So this links with the 400 song on that same stream where Ed is going to be in the chili. We will have a little sing along as well. And Peeny, join on Twitch, because I can actually play music on Twitch as well, which I can't do on YouTube. So we can play music, we can start singing together. With Twitch, we're not just going to be gaming. We watch videos, we react to certain things. You can send your funny memes in, we can react to that. We can do whatever. It's literally just the most chilled out stream where we're just chilling together, like a FaceTime, where you guys don't have to be on FaceTime, and I just get to you guys can be in the comments, and we just chat on there. So yeah, that's what I'm looking to do on Twitch. It's not just solely for gaming. We're not gonna be serious. It's gonna be fun, having a laugh, chatting with you guys. Maybe you can even get me to do some forfeits on there if I lose certain matches. We're just gonna have a great time up and over on Twitch. So make sure you join over there. Follow me on Twitch at Tereak_talks. Right over there. It will be a good one. And if you can get to 50 followers on Twitch, then I can start doing little things on there, like a CM who's very much inspired me to go on Twitch a lot as well. Big up everyone who's locked in. We got Jamie who's just coming in towards the end, and hope I'm doing good, man. You're a top. This guy, if you aren't subscribing to Jamie Phillips Football Chats, go and do that right now. He is smashing the YouTube game right now. The algorithm has gone boom because of all the hard work that Jamie puts in as well. Top guy, shows a lot of love to the channel, shows a lot of love to other people's channels as well. Jamie Phillips, an absolute legend of the game already. What is it? Over a year now, Jamie's been in it. And you know what, mate? You're an absolute inspiration. And just keep being yourself. Don't let anyone get you down. Now that you're growing, Jamie, you're going to get people hating on you. And this is life. This is the same for you. I know we're not talking football here, but in life, you are going to get people hating on you and hating on your success in all ways, and try and pick on you for that and try and bring you down. And yes, sometimes it will affect you at times, but remember, those 99% of people that watch you love you. And that's what I'm going to tell you. So yeah, definitely I've convinced Peeny to give it a go. Much love to yourself. You're a top guy as well. And everyone else who is watching right now, I love chatting with you guys. Those of you that are just watching right now, it's a pleasure to be able to talk football, talk biscuits, and off-season biscuit show, which I've seen you say as well. So yeah, for sure. I am looking forward to this summer of football, FIFA, chilling, singing, you name it. And big up Credit King in the place. Am I Arteta in? Yeah, I'd probably say if you're gonna put me in there, I'll say yes. I don't put myself in there myself, but if which one do I lean towards? I do want to give Arteta time, because I have seen elements of his management that I like and that I do see potential in. When we're talking about certain players like a Gabriel Martinelli, and I can't really say Saka because he's been there, done it, achieved it at a big level. I see a potential like we see in Gabriel Martinelli. Martinelli hasn't scored 10 plus goals in the Premier League yet. So, you know what I'm saying? He hasn't scored 10 plus goals in the league. So when we talk about this guy can be world class, he ain't done it yet. And that's the same with Arteta as well. He's not a success at Arsenal yet because he hasn't done anything to achieve. But I believe in him, and I believe that he has the capabilities, management to do it, and that strength of character, which is most important. And can I get a Wagwan let me tell you this right now, Credit King. Wagwan, Credit King. And Wagwan, everyone else in the chat as well. Peony saying, fudge, the haters. They're just eating Watsits in their mom's basement. Exactly. I mean, I like eating Watsits, and I don't eat in my mom's basement, but in my mom's house. but yeah, thank God. People aren't deluded. Spent the last hour watching Arteta out. Hey, Credit King, we're not Arteta out over. You know what? Even if you do have an Arteta out opinion, yeah, I'm here to debate. And if you could let me know, Credit, who was you watching? Because I could hit them up and then we could potentially have a debate. Because you know what? I want to try and I want to speak some sense to people, but I just want to try and make people see the light instead of screaming, shouting, arguing about certain things, that they can hear my point of view. I'll listen to them. I'll listen to their views and points, and so I can try and have a counter argument back to them. That's what I'd want to do, Credit King. I was about to fix my cap then, but I forgot I'm wearing a do-rag. So yeah, I'd like to do that. And hey, Peonies, I'm Arteta, shake it all about. And then I wanted my debate tab. I will add in. And you asked for another one as well, didn't you? Was it the you asked for a debate one? And then what was the other one now? For the Discord. If you don't know, people, I'm going to get the link for the Discord for you right now and send it into the chat. If you want to join my Discord, Credit King, if you're not already in there, you're more than welcome to join. We talk a lot of football, a lot of non-football in there too. That's for sure. If you just want to talk about life and just anything like that, we have a Discord server right here. So here we go. Let's put that in. There's the link. Come and join my people. It's put it on Twitch. It hasn't quite gone through on YouTube yet. Let me try and add that in right now. Apologies for that if it hasn't gone through on YouTube, but if it has, don't listen to me. Let me put it in right about now. Yeah, there it is. So join the Discord server. It is in the comments. Make sure you do in the live chat if you want to join. I will probably put it in the description to people. So yeah, I think we might start wrapping it up here. But before I do that, go practice at FIFA, bro. You ain't ready. Jay, this is what I'm saying. Jay's hit me up on. We're talking about FIFA, potential pro clubs thing. Yeah, Jay, I will practice on FIFA. I haven't been playing it for a while. I'm not going to lie. I've been playing FIFA since, 2002? Yeah, when I was like 4. Listen, yeah, I've got years of practice on FIFA, but the modern day FIFAs, I'm a bit of an old school. When we talk about old school football, like with Moss and that, I'm an old school FIFA player. I played it when there was no Ultimate Team back a day. I was on that FIFA grind. You know what I mean? My player. You don't even remember when FIFA used to have sponsorships, most of you people. When I say sponsorships, I mean when you used to play career mode and then you'd have Nike or Adidas or McDonald's hitting you up. That's what I'm talking about. FIFA use. I'm an old school FIFA player. But yeah, I'm getting too heated up right now because we spent probably the last hour or so. I mean, not the last hour. The last 15 minutes or 20 minutes or so just talking about other things. But yeah, definitely Discord is for biscuits. Birthdays, but it's just dates. I'm gonna have to talk to you about that in the Discord. That's the one. It was birthdays, but when you mean locked, so everybody just says one message and that's their birthday. Cool. So we can remember to wish them a happy birthday and whatnot. Hey, CM is in here. CM, if you've just joined, I was talking about you, and I was talking about you being a big inspiration overall for me on Twitch and someone that I'm definitely looking to grow with as well. So yeah, man, big up my bro CM, who will be joining us for the FIFA content. And bro, they removed that feature. EA are grim. That feature was cold. It made it seem way more realistic. Do you remember when you could sim games in there? I know you can do it now, but they only put that feature back in there when you could sim games and then jump in when you were losing. Back a day in PS2. And now they're trying to say, oh, that's a big PS4 5 release. Don't do me like that. I remember, yeah? I remember when you used to have that on PS2. So don't try and say it's a new feature now. Dress it up. Sorry, EA. I'll message you about it for sure. Definitely, man. We'll have a chat right there. EA Sports. Yeah, it is in Vancouver. It's awesome. It is the lab. It is in Vancouver. I know people that have gone there. when they have games, when they play games and that. CM, don't tell me you want to get smart. Hey, Jay's coming in with a lot of heat. And yeah, tell him don't play with you. Stop making me blush, bro. Paul. For the Ferbs effect, exactly. But nah, man, defo, man. You seen what you're doing. Go. I've given a big shout out to Jamie. Now it's CM's turn. Go follow CM on Twitch. If you follow CM on Twitch, then he's got no choice but to be on there regularly streaming because he's got so much energy. And big credit to CM as well because, you know, in life in general, certain things that, you know, when we have internet struggles, we know that CM, yeah. And in life in general, it's not easy to always come out here and, you know, try and have energy up and about. But CM never fails, and he just keeps it real and there as well, which I try and do. And yeah, CM, he's entertaining to watch. If you don't watch basketball, still watch him anyway. There's plenty of people that are in there that don't watch basketball, and we just sometimes CM, I'm not gonna lie, yeah, only throughout the playoffs. But towards the latter end, I wasn't watching many of the games. I was just watching you, bro, honestly. And that's what it's all about because I found you more entertaining than the ball at times, bro. For real, trust me, T. You want smoke on weekend? I want smoke. You know what? Why we shout? This is what I'm saying. Why are we coming at each other when we could play co-op seasons or pro clubs, people? You know what I'm saying? We could link. We could play together. That's what we could do. We could join together as a team. We're stronger together. I'm getting too like motivational on that now. But yeah, EA Sports Vancouver can make and put you in games. It's cool. Yes, they can. That's what they do, all the scanning. Imagine a Moss on FIFA. Moss with 99 aggression, 2 pace, because of your knees, not because of you're not being quick. It's because of the knees, Moss. That's what I'm saying. CM22 and Roland versus Jay. And oh, that's cold. Hey, Moss's a promotion. Eddie Hearn of this football team, of this FIFA one. But yes, Luca as well. Big up my bro. Big up my man right there, Luca. Go subscribe to my brother Luca as well. He's releasing content. He's working hard as well. Trying to releasing videos, doing streams late at night as well. Someone who else is putting in a graft on this YouTube game. Big up my brother Luke here. And I'm giving 3 people a shout out today because you deserve it, people. I'll give you more. I'll try to be your hype man. I will try and always be there for you all because you guys always continue to show the love for myself. Appreciate my bro. That means a lot. Much love. CM, you know the love I've got for you, man. You know how it is. Definitely HMU anytime, bro. And yeah, I'm looking Friday and Saturday. So which day works better for you, CM? Shout me. We can play 2 versus 2. You can do 2 versus 2 on FIFA. Indeed. Moss, yes, you can. P4. Yeah, we got the players. We got the PS5 thing, but I'm not sure if it's cross-gen. I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. I think you can play cross-gen, bro. They added that feature now. Don't go anywhere. Yes, I won't go anywhere. For sure. And Peeny's nervous. Guys, can we just wish Peeny all the best? I'm sure Peeny won't mind me sharing this. And if he do, Peeny, shut me down. Too late now. I'm going to start talking about it. But our brother Peeny has got a date coming up, people. Listen, date. He's got a date. I'm not going to tell you the location and that because I don't want you popping up on Peeny. But big up our brother Peeny who's going out on a date. Go wish him good luck. Yeah. Peeny, go smash it. Be yourself. Be the person that you are, the lovely, loving man that you are. And you'll smash it, man. Trust me. I got faith in you, Peeny. Don't get too nervous because trust in your ability, man. Trust the process and just be the great guy that you are. And you'll be all right. Yeah, you got 22. I have 2, but they've released it as crossplay. Yeah, CM, I think that's calm if you got the PS4. I think if you've got the PS5 version, they give you the PS4 one for free, if I'm correct. And Mosse and Marquinhos, they tried to Dollarama us for Wolves, Power Store shoppers. But yeah, they demand 100 mil for Neves. Fun police. Hey, Moss isn't in favour of the mighty Wolves at the moment. He's not in favour. But Jamie, definitely, man. I'll definitely love to come on. If we're talking Liverpool, I'm all for that as well. I'll get myself clued up because your transfer window is looking hella good. But if it's just all over the league, I'm all up for that as well, my bro. So yeah, definitely. I'd love to come on the channel, man. Really appreciate that. Thank you for asking. Saturday, I think, bro. Got an NBA game Friday, I believe. Hey, if you're doing the NBA, I'll do a little Friday night stream leading up to the game, and then I'll be tuning in to yours and then hitting them channel points, hitting the don't go anywhere and the jump scares and all of that. Hey, I've told you now, you got to be prepared. And come on, Peony, exactly. Should have gone to Specsavers. Hey, nah, Peony, don't you worry, man. That's what we love to see, man. Big up my bro Peony right there. We just chatting now, guys. Yeah, we are more Portuguese. Yeah, exactly. Just allow the Portuguese, man. You can keep them. San Francisco Warriors, Tereak. Do they have 3 games in a row back in Boston? CM. Oh, I don't know, man. I'm nervous. I am mega nervous because they have the advantage going into it because it's 1-1. They took the game on the road. They're at home. If they can make home advantage count, they go 3-1 up. I'm saying I'm nervous, and I don't see us coming back from 3-1. We're not going to do what we did, what the Cavs did to us. I don't think to Boston. Maybe they could bottle job Celtics, pro clubs thing. That's it. Yeah. Hey, CB, centre mid, captain, leader, legend. I can't be saying that about myself. That's John Terry's words. I can't say that. Not just because it's big headed, but now it's because it's John Terry's. Definitely, all teams, definitely, man. Looking forward to that, man. Really appreciate it. I miss so much. We'll watch on replay. Yeah, definitely. And those of you who have just joined in now, we spent the first hour doing part 2, and the last 25 minutes has just been talking about what's coming up on the channel. And yeah, just having a chat with you guys because I really have enjoyed it. People, I am going to wrap it up soon, but the comments keep on coming. TNCM go practice. I can't. Hey, Jay's coming. I thought I was moving with a lot of big chest in here. You know what I mean? But Jay's coming in. Yo, you can't let us down when you're missing them 1v1s. Hey, I'll remember this. I'll remember this comment. Star it right there and then start it in the brain too. But definitely, T. Who do you think will have the best summer window? Oh man, you know what? That's a great question, King. Let me know your thoughts, King. I'm thinking about it now. I actually genuinely think we could have the best window. And we could. We're up there for sure if we do get the players that we've been linked with. Spurs as well. I think there's so much that's going to go on at Manchester United. I don't think they could have the best. Jamie saying Liverpool, which, you know, if they get a Darwin Nunez in, Ramsey, a Calvin Ramsey in there over the line, and then sell Mane, Nat Phillips, Williams, the Williams duo, and then Minamino. I think, yeah, Liverpool are up there. It's all about how they replace Mane for me. And if they add a different element. Man City have had a great start to the window already. So really, Chelsea, I think it's similar to Man United. There's going to be so much that's going to need to be done. I can't see it all working out in one window. So I'm going to say the candidates are Arsenal. I'm just scrolling through the teams as we're looking right now. Palace could certainly have a good window as well. They've got a good base to build from. So I'm going to say Arsenal, Palace. As you can probably hear me tapping on my buttons. Liverpool, City, and Spurs. Arsenal, Palace, Liverpool, City, and Spurs. Maybe West Ham as a dark horse as well. But Arsenal, Palace, Liverpool, City, and Spurs. I can't choose. I hope Arsenal. I reckon City will have a sick window. Spurs. Yeah. So similar right there. And credit saying we're going to have a good window and Arteta is taking us to Champions League. We've got... I'll leave the rest there before I sing too much and lose my voice again. Newcastle, I don't know, you know. I looked at them when I was looking through now. I don't know. I think there's a lot of hype in there. I don't think they will. That's just a little feeling that I've got. I said it earlier on in the video. I might be wrong, but we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, check it out, people. If you want to watch it back, I'm going to definitely wrap it up here. Big up to everyone who's joined in here. Thank you to you all. Credit King, nice to see you in the chat as well. Jamie, JCM, Moss has been in here. All of you, Peony has been throughout. Social, plenty of you. Ed, Tish, and if I forgot your name, I apologize, but I do definitely appreciate you all. Thank you for the love you show. Get in the comments afterwards. Let me know your thoughts on everything that we've discussed. If you just want to even talk about whatever in the comments, it's all yours. The platform is yours, and I'll get in there and I'll chat with you guys. But people, I'm going to love and leave you. I am out. Stay tuned. I will be back again streaming Friday and Saturday over on Twitch. So give me a follow on Twitch. I was about to see, I'm getting my name mixed up. Tereak and Twitch. Tereak Talks over on Twitch. And yeah, we'll be chilling, vibing there. Love to you all. I am out, and all the best to our brother Peony. And I hope the rest of you, have a great, fantastic day or evening. Ciao.